Hello there, welcome to another video. Let's talk about imposter syndrome. You ever feel like you're really not good enough? Like you achieved something, but you're like, nah. And you start second guessing everything. You start brushing over compliments, something like that. That, my loves, is imposter syndrome. You know what? I feel like it's high time you detox from that app and stop trying to measure up to people's highlights. I'm sorry I came on you like that, but I said it before and I will say it again. Everyone is on a different journey. You can't chase your dream wearing somebody else's shoes. You have to start focusing on your own path. And I totally get it because I was here before. Social media has got us on chokehold. Watching other people's highlights and reels, and it feels like you're way behind and you'll never get there. You have to start celebrating the process and not just the big wins. Clap for yourself each time you show up scared, each time you refuse to quit, each time you remain consistent, because those are the real victories. We often don't play our wins too much, thinking that somebody else could have done that. You just got lucky. You second guess everything, even when people tell you that you're amazing. It's about time you stop doing that and give yourself more credit. Pat yourself at the back for those wins that people don't get to see. You probably have heard about this, but let me be the person that says it again from a place of lots of love. People learn as they go. Nobody gets it right at the first time. Heck, no one has all the answers. Messing up is often a part of the game. You see those L's? Those are not losses, they are part of the learning moments. Don't focus too much on trying to be the best, because the journey is always where it's at and not just the finish line. No one has it all figured out, because at the end of the day, you got what it takes. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should lower your standards. All I'm saying is excellence is still achievable without that impossible pressure of perfectionism. Community is everything. Take a good look at the people who you call friends and who you let in your space. Are these people hyping you up, or are they diminishing your dreams? Are they keeping it real with you, or are they always negative and doubting that you can achieve certain things? Those are the questions that you need to ask yourself, because these are the people who play a huge part in your growth and mindset. The right circle will always push you to not lose sight of your achievements. In a world where we women are always told that we have to be twice as good to get half of the credit, even when we get to the top, instead of celebrating our wins, we still kind of feel like something is missing. Like, did I really get here? You get what I'm saying? Having people around who remind you what you really can achieve and pull you up whenever you're sleeping will always be a game changer. I know that 90% of most successful people doubted themselves when they started. The difference between you and them is that they didn't let that doubt stop them. They decided that they will figure it out as they go. They reminded themselves that confidence does not come before action. It grows because of it. I know that imposter syndrome creeps in at times, but you don't have to let it live rent-free in your head. Walk into that room with your head held high and stop downplaying what you bring to the table. If you closed a great deal at work, you better believe it. If you got a degree, you better say you did that. If you brought in new clients at your workspace, your colleagues better know it, because you did that. Think of it this way: what will you gain if it doesn't work out? There is always room for growth in the process. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? People have bounced back from their biggest disappointments and they survived just perfectly fine. The quickest way to silence imposter syndrome is to stop chasing approval from people. Nobody likes falling flat. But that's proof that you're trying, right? As long as I've lived, success has never been a straight line. It's a whole maze. So start treating failure as stepping stones and not roadblocks. Those roadblocks are part of the journey. All in all, imposter syndrome isn't something you just quickly fix and forget about it. But that does not mean you should give it a seat at the front row. Most times imposter syndrome thrives on the lies we tell ourselves, on the lies we have been fed and started to believe. In other cases, you find yourself to be the first person in your family to make it and break barriers, something like financial freedom. So the pressure starts feeling kind of heavy, like you have to live to the standard and represent for everyone. So you start to overwork and burn out, trying to prove that you belong. Sometimes it gets even worse, so you start to shrink, hiding your skills and capabilities when people desperately need it. Then self sabotage comes in. That's how deep imposter syndrome can get. But here's the tea, you just didn't stumble into greatness. You prayed, worked, fought, and ended. We may all have looked down at one point of our lives, but that does not mean that you don't deserve a seat at the table. This my loves brings me to the end. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.